10 R&B groups, 10 sets of voices that blended so perfectly you'd swear those people loved each other. They didn't. Some of them stopped speaking, some of them sued, some of them died without ever fixing it. And I'm not talking about creative differences.
Here's one more thing that you got to know, just cool it down and stay in control.
I'm talking about grown men and women who built something beautiful together and then spent decades refusing to be in the same room. You know these songs. You've played them at weddings. You just never knew what it cost.
I've got sunshine.
Number 10, 112. You've played Cupid at a cookout, probably this year, but here's what most people don't know. Right now, 2 of the 4 men who made that record are legally barred from calling themselves 112, not by choice, by a federal judge. They were 4 kids out of Atlanta: Deron Jones, Mike Keith, Q Parker, Slim Scandrick. They met in school, they harmonized in hallways, and Bad Boy signed them in the mid-90s. Their 1996 debut gave us Only You. Then in 1997, they sang the hook on I'll Be Missing You with Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, a record that sat at number 1 on the Hot 100 for nearly 3 months and won a Grammy. In 2001, Peaches and Cream went to number 4 pop, number 2 R&B, and picked up another Grammy nomination. 4 Brothers, Untouchable. And then in 2017, after Diddy reunited the Bad Boy family and put them back on the road, they released an album titled With All 4 of Their Names on the Cover. Cue Mike Slim Deron, a statement. We're whole again. 1 year later, it was over. Slim said it out loud. Egos and mistrust, business and personal. Q and Deron were gone. And in 2020, Slim and Mike posted a photo of the group with 2 young dancers standing where Q and Deron used to stand. Slim's response to the fans who lost it in the comments: no man is bigger than the brand. Then it went to court. In 2021, a federal judge awarded Slim's production company $100,000 and barred his former groupmates from using the name 112 in business at all. Here's the part that stays with me. In 2023, after Irish Grinstead of 702 passed away, Q went public and basically begged Mike and Slim to call him back. Not for a tour, just to talk. If you've ever built something with your closest friends and watched lawyers become the only way you communicate, you know exactly how heavy that phone call is. And 112 aren't even the worst of it. Number 9, Dru Hill. There's a video with hundreds of thousands of views of a man quitting his group live on the radio while his groupmates sit 3 feet away. That's Dru Hill, and that wasn't even the first time he did it. 4 friends out of Baltimore, named after Druid Hill Park. Cisco, Nokio, Jazz, and Woody, teenagers when they signed to Island in 1996. Tell Me put them on. Then In My Bed spent 3 weeks at number 1 R&B and hit number 4 pop. Then Never Make a Promise, that's Jazz on lead. And if you were slow dancing in 1997, that record was The Whole Night. 4 weeks at number 1 R&B, number 7 pop. They had it. All four of them. Then 1999 happened. Will Smith put them on Wild Wild West, and the song and the video pushed one man to the front. Xscape. Everybody else was background. Fans started calling Xscape Dru Hill, like the other three didn't exist. And on that video set, Woody quit, said he was called to gospel. You know the rest. Thong song, global superstardom, Xscape becoming the biggest thing to come out of Baltimore in a generation. What you might not know is what it did to the four of them. 9 years later, 2008, all four back together on Baltimore radio to announce a comeback. Live, on air, Woody announces he's leaving again. God's assignment. His groupmates find out with the entire city listening. Xscape walked out of the station. And that's the funny thing about Dru Hill. The fighting wasn't new. Xscape later told the Baltimore Sun that he and Nokio had gone at it many times, and that Nokio once pulled a knife on him when they were 16. Over a girl. Before any of it. Before the platinum. Before the awards. They replaced Woody through a talent contest, a public audition to fill the spot of a founding member. Some of y'all remember exactly where you were when that radio clip started circulating. You know the one. Real talk. Only 9% of you are subscribed. That hurts. We're spending hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life. And if you're watching this far, you clearly care. So hit subscribe. It's free and takes 2 seconds. Now, to my subscribers, barely any of you have joined the membership. And honestly, that stings even more. You know the work we put in. You keep coming back. If these videos have ever made you feel something, if this music means something to you, join the membership. It's $1 coffee a month, and it's the only way we keep this going. Let's build this together. All right, back to it. Number 8, En Vogue. 3,000 women auditioned, 4 got picked, and 2 decades later, an arbitrator had to decide which of those 4 women still legally counted as En Vogue. Denzel Foster and Thomas McElroy held open auditions in Oakland in 1988. Cindy Herron, Dawn Robinson, Maxine Jones made the cut. It was supposed to be a trio until Terry Ellis's flight from Houston came in late and she sang anyway. That late plane made it a quartet. And what a quartet. Hold On in 1990. My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It in 1992. Both went to number 2 on the Hot 100. Funky Divas went multi-platinum. Nobody sang together like that. Nobody looked like that. They were the standard, and every girl group that came after got measured against them. Here's where it turns, and it's not the reason you'd expect. It wasn't jealousy over leads. It wasn't a man. It was a manager. Dawn had already left years earlier. By 2012, the 3 remaining women split down the middle over who should manage them. Cindy and Terry backed one man. Maxine wanted her own and started turning down bookings. So Cindy and Terry replaced her, and Maxine went and got Dawn. Now there were 2 En Vogues, 2 sets of women, both with real claim to those harmonies, both on the road at the same time. Cindy and Terry sued for $1 million. An arbitrator ruled that the company owned the name and told Maxine she could only describe herself as formerly of En Vogue. Formerly, a woman who was in the room when those records were built, reduced to a footnote in her own billing. And honestly, of everybody on this list, I think En Vogues is the saddest, because nobody did anything villainous. Four women disagreed about a business decision, and the disagreement outlived the friendship. I know some people see it differently. Number 7, Xscape. The next one isn't just Groupmates, it's sisters. Same house, same mother, same voice lessons, and they've spent years communicating through interviews and attorneys. Atlanta, 1992. Jermaine Dupri signs 4 girls to So Def: LaTocha Scott, her sister Tamika, Candy Burris, and Tiny. Just Kicking It drops in 1993. Number 2 on the Hot 100. 4 straight weeks at number 1 R&B. Then Understanding. Then Who Can I Run To? 3 platinum albums. Now, the tension with Candy is old news. That's been public for years. Back and forth, everybody knows. But here's what happened underneath it. In 2017, when the group reunited, the trademark to the name Xscape was registered to the 2 Scott sisters, just them. You'd think that would make the sisters unbreakable. Instead, it became the fault line. In 2023, Tamika publicly accused LaTocha of taking royalty money years earlier. LaTocha denied it. Then in 2024, a tour was announced, Xscape with SWV, and LaTocha wasn't in the promo. She says she found out about it from friends, from Coco and Taj, not from her own sister. She sent a lawyer's letter. Nobody wrote back. The tour went out without her, and legally, there was nothing she could do. When 2 people co-own a trademark, neither one can sue the other over it. So her sister could take the name on the road, and LaTocha could only watch. She put it in a freestyle in 2025, said she was kicked out of her group, said family needs time to heal. Candy said the kicked out part wasn't true. If you've ever watched a sibling become someone you have to be careful around, somebody you love but can't call, you already know this isn't about money. Money was just the thing that let them say it out loud. Number 6, Guy. This one made a whole genre, and the man who invented that genre says he'll never stand on stage with them again. 1987, Teddy Riley, Timmy Gatling, Aaron Hall. Timmy leaves after the first album. Aaron's little brother Damien steps in. Their debut goes double platinum, and the sound they made, hip-hop drums under gospel-trained R&B vocals, becomes New Jack Swing. Every record you loved from 1988 to 1993 owes them, and they were broke. A year after that debut, they fired their manager over the money, which meant they had to face what had actually happened to them. They were one of the biggest groups on earth, and they had nothing.
Yeah, Teddy Riley.
Yeah. Your reputation...
Aaron Hall said it plain. He got so depressed about it, he didn't want to sing a single note. So he didn't. On The Future, their second album, Aaron Barely Sings. Teddy had to take the lead vocals himself on half his own group's record. Sit with that. The lead singer went silent in protest, and the producer had to sing the songs. Then it got darker. In 1989, on tour, a feud between Guy's crew and New Edition's crew ended with Guy's security chief, Teddy's close friend, shot and killed in Pittsburgh in broad daylight. The other side's road manager was convicted of manslaughter. Teddy announced he was leaving from the stage at Madison Square Garden. By 1992, Guy was done. They tried again in 2010. It lasted months before other members claimed Teddy hadn't distributed royalties properly. In January 2011, Aaron and Damian performed at BET Honors as a duo, Guy without Teddy Riley, and the producer Rico Love told a story that says everything. He ran into Aaron Hall in an airport right after Aaron and Teddy had performed together, and Aaron told him flat out that he hated him. They had just shared a stage. Number 5, Destiny's Child. Two of them found out they'd been fired by watching television. That's not an exaggeration. That's what happened. I am not the one, sit around and play, so prove yourself to me. Houston, 4 girls who'd been singing together since they were 9 years old, back when they were called Girls Time. Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Latavia Roberson, LaToya Luckett. Columbia signed them in 1996. No, broke them. Then The Writings on the Wall in 1999. Bills, Bills, Bills. Then Say My Name, both number 1 on the Hot 100. Now here's the thing people get wrong. Latavia and LaToya didn't quit. In December of 1999, they went to management and asked for a change. They felt the money wasn't split fairly and that 2 of the 4 girls were being favored. That's all. They wanted a mediator. They wanted to stay. February 2000, the video for Say My Name premieres, and there are 2 other women standing in their places, lip-syncing to their vocals. The vocals Latavia and LaToya actually recorded in their actual voices, coming out of 2 faces the public had never seen. That's how they found out. On TV, with everybody else. The lawsuits came fast. Breach of contract, defamation, fraud, and settled that July. They ended up entitled to royalties from the albums they sang on. In the following year, Say My Name won 2 Grammys. Their voices are on that trophy. Farrah Franklin, one of the 2 replacements, was gone in a matter of months herself. Years later, LaToya was asked about hearing that song. She said she remembers thinking, regardless of everything, that's a good record. That she was mad she couldn't be part of it. Then she laughed about all the therapy it took to be able to say that out loud. If you've ever been replaced somewhere and nobody told you, you found out from a group chat, a schedule, a photo you weren't in, you know that specific kind of cold. Number 4, New Edition. Five kids from the Orchard Park Projects in Roxbury. They started singing together in 1978, when the oldest of them was barely a teenager. and in 1985, 4 of them sat in a room and voted the 5th one out. Let me give you the size of what they'd built first. Candy Girl in 1983 hit #1 on the R&B chart, knocked Michael Jackson's Beat It out of the top spot for a week. They got robbed on that first deal and had to fight their way off that label. Then MCA and New Edition in 1984, double platinum with Cool It Now, #1 R&B, #4 pop. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Every kid in America could say those 4 names in order. Bobby Brown was the spark. He was also, by 1985, missing rehearsals, missing shows, and pushing an act on stage that management thought would sink the whole wholesome image. It came to a head in Oakland. Bobby stretched a moment out too long. The group tried to move on without him, and he and Mike Bivins came to blows on stage, in front of the audience. That December, under heavy pressure from the label and their managers, they took a vote. 4 hands went up. And here's what makes it stick. Bobby's response wasn't rage about the music. It was, "I started this group. Nobody has the right to vote me out." These were the friends who taught him harmony parts on a stoop. He went and made Don't Be Cruel and became bigger than all of them. And decades later, Mike Bivins said what everybody had been thinking, that it was wrong, that they listened to grown men who didn't love them and did something to a childhood friend that they didn't have to do. Even the reunion had a brawl in it. The Home Again tour in 1996 got cut short after things went bad backstage. #3, the Delfonics. 2 brothers, one of the most beautiful sounds in the history of soul music. And for roughly 45 years, 2 separate Delfonics touring the country, so the audience wouldn't have to see them in the same room. William Hart, everybody called him Poogie, and his brother Wilbert. Overbrook High in Philadelphia, add Randy Kane, add a young arranger named Tom Bell, and in 1968 you get La La Means I Love You, #4 pop, #2 R&B. Then in 1970, Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time, top 10 pop, #3 R&B, and a Grammy. Between 1968 and 1974, they put 20 singles on the charts, and William wrote or co-wrote nearly all of them. That falsetto is the sound of a whole city. That's Philly soul before Philly soul had a name. And then in 1975, it fell apart over money. Not creative direction, not a woman, money. The brothers parted ways, and instead of one of them stepping aside, they each took the name and kept going. Wilbert leading one Delfonics, William leading another. Same songs, same blood, different buses. It went to court. Wilbert and Randy Kane sued William over back royalties in 2003. And in 2007, a judge finally ruled that both brothers could use the name as long as audiences were told which one they were getting. Wilbert had to bill himself as Will Hart of the Delfonics. A judge had to divide 2 brothers' childhood between them. There was one night, 2006, where they stood on the same stage at an awards ceremony honoring pioneers. One Night in Decades. Tarantino put their music in Jackie Brown in 1997, and a whole new generation fell in love. Didn't fix it. William Hart died in July of 2022, 77 years old, complications from surgery. They never reunited. Wilbert is the last one left from the group that made those records. That's a different kind of heartbreak. Not the kind where somebody's the villain, the kind where two people just keep waiting for the other one to call first, and then one day there's nobody to call. Number 2, The Supremes. Three girls from the Brewster Projects in Detroit. 12 #1 singles between 1964 and 1970, more than almost anybody. And the thing that finally ended them, 30 years later, was a number written on a contract. Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, Florence Ballard. They started as teenagers, the Primettes, hanging around Motown until somebody let them in, and when it hit like nothing before it. Where did our love go? Stop! In the name of love, you keep me hanging on. Black girls from public housing on television screens in every home in America. Then in 1967, the billing changed to Diana Ross and the Supremes, and Florence Ballard was out, replaced by Cindy Birdsong. Florence died in 1976, 32 years old. Mary Wilson blamed the way Florence was pushed out for what happened to her, and she said so in her memoir in 1986, that Diane always liked the center, and if you were in the way, that was your problem. Then Motown 25, in 1983, the Supremes back together on national television, and in the middle of the song, Diana takes the microphone out of Mary's hand. Mary said later, it didn't just spoil her moment, it spoiled the reunion. Which brings us to 2000. Return to Love, a real reunion tour, finally. Except Mary Wilson, a founding member, the only woman who was there for every single year of it, was contacted late, and the money that came back to her wasn't close. Reports put Diana's figure at $15 million and Mary's at $4 million. She said no. So the tour went out with two women who joined the Supremes after Diana had already left for her solo career. 29 dates were scheduled, 13 got played, 16 were canceled. And whether that tour failed because of the ticket prices or because the audience knew exactly who was missing from that stage, I'll let you decide. They hugged at an Oscar party in 2019. Mary passed away in 2021. Number 1, The Temptations. The number 1 spot goes to the group where the fired lead singer used to sneak into the buildings and take the stage anyway. I've got a sweeter song. The Classic Five: Otis Williams, Melvin Franklin, Paul Williams, Eddie Kendricks, David Ruffin. Detroit. My Girl hits number 1 in 1965 and stays a permanent piece of American life. It's playing at somebody's wedding reception tonight, guaranteed. David Ruffin sang that lead, and by 1968 he was showing up late, missing rehearsals, missing dates, traveling separately, and asking that the group be renamed David Ruffin and the Temptations. They fired him, brought in Dennis Edwards, and then it got strange. Ruffin started following the tour, not to argue, to perform.
When it's cold outside,
He'd find a way into the venue, wait for the band to hit the intro of a song he used to sing, and walk out on stage in front of a full house and start singing his part. Every time the crowd went up, because they wanted him there.
I guess you said what
The Temptations had to hire extra security to keep a Temptation out of a Temptations show. It nearly worked. There was a night in Gaithersburg, Maryland, where the group actually decided to let him back in. They told Dennis Edwards he was being let go. Then Ruffin didn't show up on time the next night. That was the end of it.
I don't need no money.
He turned around and sued Motown that October instead, and the fighting never stopped. Kendricks left in 1971 over direction and contracts. Paul Williams left sick and died in 1973.
I got all the riches, baby.
Edwards was fired by Otis in 1977, rehired, replaced again. Ruffin died in 1991, Kendricks in 1992, Melvin Franklin in 1995.
My girl, talking about my girl.
Then Dennis Edwards started touring as the Temptations, and Otis Williams, the last original member, sued him for trademark infringement. A federal judge barred him from the name. He spent nearly 20 years billed as the Temptations Review, featuring Dennis Edwards. Here's the part that gets me. When Dennis Edwards died in 2018, Otis put out a statement honoring what he gave to the Temptations' legacy. Gracious, warm, everything you'd want. Same man he took to federal court. They'd made peace with Ruffin too, publicly, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989, 2 years before Ruffin was gone. Otis Williams is still here, last man standing from the greatest vocal group America ever produced. And he's outlived every single person who could argue with him about what really happened.
Then the bird